And welcome to Hiccups. Let's see if this is going to work. Hiccups. Huh. Well, there's supposed to be an opening here. Let's go with this and see what happens, and we'll come back to that. Um, that's what it's supposed to do. Well, anyway, do it now. But anyway, my half hour of, well, I figured it out, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to counseling. You get the vent here for 30 minutes. There's plenty of time, plenty enough. Um, an hour's too long. 30 minutes to pack in to try to get one point across, try to get across good. That works out. I think this is going to work out. I did this on Tuesday. I had an appointment on Wednesday. I did it on Tuesday, but I didn't hit the live stream, so I did a show for nobody, which is like a practice run, so I can do it today. That makes it easy. And so we're going to work on this. Oh, let's see. Did I bring those? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. We got two leaflets came in the mail, which I don't have them on there right now. Let me change that screen up for this one right here. Because this could be the main feature for the next couple of months, right before Halloween. So when City Council votes on this again, and you say no to the schedule, and we get our city back. You do nothing about it, and these people still own it. So we don't own it, So, okay, I got two leaflets in the mail. One's a candidate for, I got to call or try to, think about it, they don't put a phone number. This is the kind of things I want us to start pushing candidates to do. Put a phone number on there. Know who you're talking to. You may not even be talking to this person. One person, they could be a puppet. Joe Biden was a puppet. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. So, anyway, same thing with these people. Make them put a phone number on it so we can talk to them. Body language is the main thing. But this one here, looks like she's running for State Senate District 9. And this one here is a John Huffman, a conservative. Both look like they're conservatives, I guess. One's endorsed by Trump, and the other one apparently didn't. You can't endorse them both. I guess they're running for the same seat. I don't know. And the thing about it is, midterms don't start the next March, and elections in November. And this has early voting October 20th through the 31st. Election day, November the 4th, 2025. Now, I have no idea of any election coming up this November at all. Apparently, and I've asked a couple of people, and they didn't know exactly what we were talking about either. So, this guy was a former mayor of South Lake, it looks like on here. Okay. So, he'd be close to Tim O'Hara. City budgets and all this. Let's see. Anyway, like I said, they don't put a phone number. And you never know if you're going to get an answer on an email. A lot of times I don't never get no returns, anything like that. So, number one, in choosing a candidate, I want a phone number. I want to talk to them. I want to hear that. Can they speak? Are they a robot? Are they a clone? Are they an alien from another planet? That theory there, you can't rule anything out because things have really gone crazy over the last decade or so or more. Somewhere around there, it started flipping where what good people get penalized and crooked people get rewarded. Betsy Price gets caught robbing the city, and then they name a community center after her. Okay, so these kind of things are going on constantly, and no one's saying anything about them. That's what's weird. No one stands up. That's what I'm trying to expose. Get out there. No one seems to care either. what these people are doing. And it's the bag gets, just like those mayor and judges here are, geez, this does upset me right here. This upsets me. This Brandon Johnson in Chicago. I used to be able to say Mayor Parker is the worst mayor out there, and it hurts me deeply not to be able to say that anymore. I can't say it anymore now. This man came out publicly and said that fighting crime, what will reduce crime is, what do you call it? More affordable homes. Yeah, affordable homes. That's going to stop. That's going to slow down crime. Affordable homes. I don't care how affordable they are. If they're paying for them with stolen money, I mean, just like the criminals get a break there. But anyway, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Affordable homes. But I'll tell you something that matches up to it too. Is this video right here? Why we, well, it's just, oh, that's what I was going to get to though before I lose my whole train of thought here. I was getting at talking about things being kind of crazy, flip flop, like we've gone through the looking glass. There's one other. I'm just looking at the seals and revelations in the Bible, and it's a possibility the third seal broke. Maybe that's the balance of power. That's when the third seal breaks. Is what I just read that a while ago. So I don't have no idea on this stuff. It just kind of came to me to look at I know there's something up. There's so many seals, 7 seals or whatever, and the last one breaks, all hell breaks down, I think. But anyway, I went and looked at those and kind of looked down and see what each seal represented when it broke in our timelines over the history. And it does fall about every 200 years. It does kind of 150, 200 years. Great nations fall. If you go back all the way back to China and their beginning, somewhere Rome became wealthy, right? People got lazy, chucked their responsibilities, didn't want to do them. Boom, down they went. So that's the same thing here. It's what's happening in the United States across here. Maybe that, or maybe that seal broke, or maybe it's just one other theory I got is that the Democrat Party, whatever evil force is taking over this country, it wants to be communism, whatever. It started back when they shot Kennedy, because Democrats were Democrats. Kennedy back. Truman was a Kennedy. Truman was a Democrat. Kennedy was a Democrat, which you could call a Democrat. That you would be proud to stand out and say that. Roosevelt, all of them were regular Democrats then. It changed right about then. So it's the other theory why things have flip flopped. Whoever wanted to take over with our mind, like Stalin said in Russia, it's not through nuclear war. Not through combat, but through our minds. Take over our schools, take over our media, dumb us down. Give us what we want while they take what they want. And then when they get everything in position how they want, they don't have to give us what we want anymore. So, I don't know. Maybe that's way out of track too. Who knows, really? But here's something to go along with that is talking about stupidity. I mean, to me, this is what media. There are so many things they could talk about in the media about the new schedule. But here's what we get while we get this, what we get to hear. And this kind of blue screen didn't work out too good. I just screenshot it, but it'll work.
Competition.
Did George Costanza put this together?
Do you ever go anywhere and at least I don't know with my girlfriends, it's like, oh, you need to go check out the bathroom.
Yes,
it's really cool.
I have said that before. Man, that bathroom's nice.
And this one's pretty.
Yeah, Tatsu, I guess, in Dallas. It's a
Boy, I'll tell you what, news. That is local news there. What really the news should be is to see the kitchen. Then but that was not Cracker Barrel. That was
competition.
Did George Costanza put this together?
Do you ever go anywhere and at least I don't know with my girlfriends, it's like, oh, you need to go check out the bathroom.
Yes,
it's really cool.
I have said that before. Man, that bathroom's nice.
And look at this one. This is national news. Cracker Barrel changes their name. Now, how can we get through life without knowing about that? Now this is okay on like Fox Business News and how it had an effect and all that. That would go on business news. That's acceptable there. But on mainstream, it went on mainstream news too. That Cracker Barrel changed their name. God, that's just it's amazing. But this is what wasted time right here when they could be talking about how our cities are, decaying. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. That's what you get to see for news. You know, and I'd like for us to have more, and that's what I'm trying to do is share a little bit more here with it. And I can touch on the last election here. Now, I do want to say I don't think I'm gonna buy another Hewlett Packard printer. I might have just got a bad one out of the fleet or whatever. But I'm used to grabbing a Canon, one of the cheaper ones, and use it. This printer, look, that's crooked. And I guess you'd have to lap the page around. It was in there straight. I did it 2 or 3 times. It still came out that way. So something made it crooked. But anyway, nevertheless, it'll work. It won't look that way. It doesn't look that way when you when I'm going to file it. I'm going to file it tomorrow, Friday. Also, I'm going to drop a video off the City Council. We'll see if they'll play it Tuesday. It's based all around the upcoming agenda in October on Sunday. Not Sunday, but the 4th council meeting, which will be a morning meeting. That's the one it should come on, as usual. They don't want it on the earlier one, but it has to be on probably that one there. This new schedule will come up. We'll come back to the court, but anyway, this is going to come on there. So I made a video. Worked on, put a lot of pieces into it and stuff, testimonies, other people, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to drop it off, and then I'm going to file that court appeal, and we'll drop it off, and we'll see. They might not play my video, and if they deny the video to play it, and they make up all kind of, and then they screw with it too, when they do play it. They may screw with it. It will be on my face side. I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it everywhere out there. And what I really want people to get know, no matter, and like, if somebody doesn't want you to know something, especially somebody in charge, you're an idiot if you don't want to go see what the hell they don't want you to know. And that's what I'm afraid of. That people have been dumbing down in schools not to think that way. That they accept it. Oh, I'm not supposed to know that, or I'm not supposed to question that. What are you, sheep going to the slaughterhouse? Crying out loud. I mean, but maybe, media, schools, all that is, I find that when I got involved, and I spent most of the time at city council, and I knew the school board and some of these other things were just as bad, but I didn't know, council was enough to give my ulcers, but now I've reached a goal there, and I'm spreading out and realizing, I guess the main thing will be the school board. That's where the real striking iron against the school board. Those people above all should be answering questions, but they don't, and they're in charge of the future of the kids, and that's where we got to change that thinking. That's why this is winning. This communist is winning, and you'll see the video and that. So either we'll see if they play it on Tuesday, and if they don't play it, like I said, it'll be on my website and everywhere else. We'll put it out there. So. Yeah, let's go back to the court date here, or not a court date. What it is my case was dismissed. I went to a hearing. We didn't make it to the court date. The lawyers for the city, all 4 of them, not all 4, but anyway, 4 of them were involved. Their names were on there. 2 of them showed up. I mean, really. And like I've said before about this, is that why couldn't these attorneys be used to settle with Fitzgerald when he got fired from the city? Firing someone from a job is not an uncommon or a spectacular thing. It's like birth. It happens. Okay, it's a normal thing in business and life. People get fired. Our attorneys, the city, should be able to handle that. If they can't handle it, then I don't know. Instead, we spent million of our tax money. $2 million. That could go on streets and everything else out here. We spent $2 million repairing well, we spent $1 million on a lateral line out here, but anyway, it's just a waste of money. That was $2 million to outside lawyers, $5 million to the police chief not to go to court. Now that's a cover-up so that Betsy Price would not go to jail. And yet they just named a community center after her, of course. But anyway, so anyway, our case. Let's get over to this. In District 5, I ran 5 times. About 3 elections ago, I started on book. And also made a title is what I really got. I got much of a book. I got a good title though. It's 2015 to 2025. My decade running for city council and how to lose weight. And I thought with that kind of title, you can't go wrong. And so I completed that. I just ran my last race. And what happened was just, I'll tell you what, also I started on book back then. I had enough stuff thinking that. And I'm not thinking the book's going to be a big seller or all that kind of stuff. It's just something to get it out of my head. You know, the next few years, I'm going to take a break and put it down on paper and just something. I mean, I got to do something. Sit around here like an idiot and do nothing. So, and I want to get it out of my head. I'll put it on break. And so, but anyway, I met that commitment. But this last race, my votes dropped 90%, they say. And there's a lot to this, a lot more to it. Because a few years ago, a whistleblower came out with a video about the tally room, which is the main room where all the votes go to be finalized and counted at the Tarrant County. You can see you can go to Open Records and get the camera of this, the video. But whoever video has put this on YouTube a while back, and it went back off, and I wish it wasn't. It was on my website, and I wish I would have done something to get that. But whoever narrated it must have been inside that other stuff they were saying. And there was questions that could easily be answered, easily be debunked, if not true, about the overseeing mailing ballots and stuff like that. A lot of questions. And but anyway, when that video came out, here's all the things that makes it all real. He said several things in there that should be just unreal. But when it came out, 2 or 3 people, a cat, the one that was separately in charge, or second in charge in the room, she resigns. The administrator goes behind doors, closed doors with our county judge, and he resigns. So we can bring in a new administrator. This girl comes out and she resigns. And what she says publicly on Facebook and everything is that I am a radical left-wing Democrat. And that she has mental problems. She's bipolar, she said. And that she's a left-wing Democrat. And this is what she resigned. I put video camera. And then the other guy did. So that looks funny. And then when you try to get answers, I got hung up on about communications at Tarrant County elections. I called. And I had to keep going and finally got a hold of the guy and said, I'm not going to answer any questions. And he hung the phone up. That doesn't fill me with any confidence. I'll tell you right now. And so I think there's something that's not right there. And then in my election, they put Deborah Peoples in office, who's real close friends with that cat that stepped down, which they put back in there. She's in this last one. She's back in there again. Why in God's creation is she back in there? Coming out and saying that stuff and they put her back in there. That's insane. To allow that. That does not mean that our voting like that. But anyway, I think votes are being destroyed in the last 2 elections. The numbers show it. When your votes drop, the overall for District 5 dropped by 50% an election before the last one. A 50% drop. They were going up 4 cycles in a row, up, because we're growing, and there was no indications why it should drop by 50%. That's a big drop. And that was my argument. I made that argument that if a doctor takes your temperature and your temperature drops by 50%, the doctor say there's something wrong. Now, who can disagree with that? Something wrong. May not know what, but there's something wrong, right? And that's the same thing with this election. We don't have proof. I do not have the tools, the money, or the tools at my expense to go into Tarrant County's election and do more research and try to find and get all the records and subpoena phone numbers and all this kind of stuff. Really do a full investigation. Don't have it. But the best thing we can do, and the most easiest thing to do to put us on the right track to eliminate fraud, is to redo District 5 on demand, because mine were going up. It's all on my video on my website. You see the numbers. They climbed. My first election in 2015, I ran as a trial run. I'm one of the very few people that ever do that because I cared about the job. And what I've seen since then, every election people have just come up at election time and disappear afterwards. You don't see them doing their civic duty. You don't see them participating in anything. They just come up during election time and disappear. They just want to fulfill the seat. They're going to be nothing but a puppet when you do that. I learned along the way. I go to bond meetings. I go to budget meetings. I learned about the job. If I want to do a job, I want to do it good. I want to do it right. So I learned about it. And then by doing that, it made me a threat. They don't want people with experience of the city down there. They want puppets at all costs. They must have puppets. That's how they control this city and keep it in shape like that. But anyway, but mine went up. And in 2017, when I got ready to run, because 15 was a trial and 17, they rejected me from the ballot for not meeting a requirement that was not on the requirement list. Now, I got rejected from the ballot for not meeting something that's humanly impossible to do. That alone, right there, should make people be concerned about the system. Not about what you did to me. I don't care who I am or who you are, all that. I'm talking about the system. It has to be fixed when it's broken. And it's not. I mean, no one's fixing the system, and it's broken. But anyway, because no one really cared, I mean, people said it was wrong, but that was it. So anyway, I had to run as a write-in. And as a write-in, I got 111 votes or 112 votes. People took time to write my name in. Now that I didn't realize at that time how big that is, but now that's humongous. People don't do anything. So anyway, I had 112. Next election, I go up to 200 or something. And the third election, I spent more money. I went to 600 and low 600. And then the next election, I went up 600 again, but just a little bit. I spent twice as much money, but just went up a little bit. So, and that's the election where the votes dropped by 50%. I believe it's called voter suppression. They don't want, people's votes got destroyed. I honestly believe that. And if anybody's vote got destroyed, it would be a sin not to try to put a stop to this. That's what I believe happened. Votes got destroyed. Mine still went up, but very little, and I don't buy that. They should have went more. But anyway, on paper, is all you can go with proof. Suspicions are great, but they don't prove. They can't convict on suspicions. But mine should have went up, I believe, because the whole thing went to 50%. It dropped down to 2019 voting levels, and that doesn't make sense. I mean, any business's money or numbers drop by 50%, they're going to do some research and find out what in the God's creation is going on. And there's one of three things going on. Either the voting machines malfunction and accidentally destroyed votes, or there's voter fraud. That's my favorite, that one there. And the third one is people just stop voting. And I have a hard time buying that one because if they stop voting, I don't know what to do about that. Now, the other two, there's a pathway to do something about them, but there's something. But we need to know which one. And when I took this to court, just asking the judge, even my first plea to the judge, my first briefer to the judge, was saying that we'll take care of all expenses, no cost to the city. We'll take care of all expenses. Okay? There is reason here to be concerned. We have on document the numbers dropped by 50%. My numbers dropped by 90%. I went 600, and then dropped to 67 votes. All of a sudden, about 600 people decided at one time they were going to vote for me. All of a sudden, well, I think I would have heard something, or I would have done something to cause that. But I wasn't in the news. And the only thing I've done is I think I've done more better than anything. I still got calls, people that want to vote for me. I got some positive calls. So so I can't see 67. I think they destroyed votes, and it's voter suppression is exactly what it is. That's what I call it. So anyway, this appeal here I've got, I'm going to add a little bit more to it tonight. I'm going to file it tomorrow. And I do want to make a point here about I don't know if it's the right way to do it. I'm not a lawyer. This thing will be straightened up, lined up, all that. It's kind of blown up when I'll portion when I blew it up. Maybe that might be what did it. So that you can read it easier. I've never filed an appeal before, but I'm trying to make a statement to the judge, or to the board, that this case should be heard. Because 91A is what the judge dismissed it on, 91A. And basically, at the end of the day, 91A says my case has no substance and it's frivolous. That's basically that sums it up pretty good right there. Frivolous and no substance. I disagree with the judge, and so does a lot of other people disagree with that ruling, because when it comes to our election, there's a possibility of votes being destroyed. That's not frivolous. This is the fabric of our country, fabric of our system. We need to take care of it at home. We need to make it a fabric of our city, and by God, we should take care of it, stand up for it. So anyway, it's very important. So I don't call it frivolous. I disagree with the judge there, and so do other people, not mine alone. The other two is no substance. The numbers are on paper. How much more substance does she need? That's enough substance right there. And not only did I give her that substance, I also submitted suspicions. I know they're not winning, but they are, what would you call it, circumstantial or character witness type things in that field. They're not anything, but they help. And when you look at the suspicions of what's going on in the voting area, it only helps make you, and then the numbers, and you put it all together. You got to say there's something wrong, and we got to find out which one. So we're asking to redo the election with a paper ballot, and redo the paper ballot. Let's see. And I'd like to get the Boy Scouts or ROTC or high school students or college kids and politics, whatever, to do the counting. Someone in that area saying, I'd like to do the schools, the high school kids or that to do the counting here, to expose them more to our elections, expose them more to what's going on and how important it is. But this is where, like I say, it goes back to the school board. Getting down at an early age, working at them, and it won't hurt to work out at an older age once they're getting out of school too. It's better at an early age, but they're still reachable when they come out of school. And so I like them to be exposed to this kind of stuff. So, but anyway, that ties up about a half an hour, and this is the thing I wrote out. And I'm gonna add on there how I think it would be a sin if people's votes were destroyed and we didn't take action to make sure that didn't happen. And I'll read this again today and re-brief it up a little bit. I've never done this before, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get an appeal. If they don't kick it back, so I got about 70% chance, I guess, with a real lawyer. So I probably got about a 3%, 97% chance of not making it. I don't know. I should, but I don't know. We'll see. It's all educational. We're going to file that on Friday. We had 30 days. The 14th would be too late, so we're going to file it Friday and see what we get there. And so let's spin this for the way out. I'm going to close with this one right here, I think.